Hey guys. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what happened. It's gonna try and do ads again, and I do apologize. We're just gonna chill as it does ad breaks again because we're starting new stream and it sucks at life. Give me a second. I gotta get everything back up. What the fuck happened? Okay, no, I know what the fuck happened. I do know what the fuck happened. We have that occasionally where it's just disconnects all of the shit. Right? We do have that. They post going live on Blue Sky? I did. Bisky. There we go. I have to be a little more careful. I gotta be a little more careful when screaming right now, because we have portable AC units in our window, which technically that means that we are have the window open all the time. You don't want chat, I want live chat. There we go. And then we pull up Restream so we can see everything because we're smart. Sort of. I'm not gonna say I'm super smart. I'm just like an average opossum. I'm average possum smart. Not big possum smart. I'm average possum smart. Anyway, so the story I was telling. When I got... Okay, so technically I should probably leave this for Friday. Well, fuck it. A little tinge of the oddities that happened at my coffee job. So my first manager was an incredibly religious Catholic lady, but she left at some point, and then my second manager was a different lady who I liked much better, to be fair. But then the person she wanted as her assistant manager didn't get the job. This other guy got the job. But everybody in the sandwich, and by sandwich I mean everybody who worked there, really didn't like him that much. But he got the job anyway. And he was a jerk. He hated me. Oh my lord, he would like sabotage me intentionally. And he didn't just hate me, he hated like almost everybody who worked there. The only person he didn't hate was the other man who worked there. But I had this injury on my right shoulder that I had before I came to the coffee shop. It got really bad. And I couldn't use my right arm for a little bit. So I was going around at work, kind of like with my arm in a sling, but I didn't have a sling, so I was just kind of holding it. I kind of did a makeshift sling. Welcome back from ads. I'm sorry they had to run again. I really appreciate you guys for sticking through it. But yeah, so I had my arm sort of like in a makeshift sling. And I told my manager, hey, like my shoulder's kind of fucked and I can't really use my arm very much. So I can't really do solo shifts right now. She was like, great, got it. And so she scheduled me with this guy, which usually we can work fine. This man got so mad and he was yelling at me and he was like, you gotta give me a doctor's note. Let me know you're not just faking it and being lazy. Bitch, you aren't my manager. I didn't say bitch, you aren't my manager. What I said is, no, I don't have to do anything of that sort. The manager has not told me I need to. He was so mad. And then he refused to work with me for the next little while. Yay! Audio working! I'm so happy. I'm so happy. And now, unfortunately, this probably means that it's gonna go off at some point while we're playing, and I'll be like, But who knows? Who can know? Hello, Paris. How's it going? I hope you enjoy your work week. Thank you for head pat. Oh my god. Chat, I am so tired. You have no... Well, okay, you understand a little bit about EP Ghostie. It's heating up. Enjoy your slide back to the corporate overlords. It's getting so warm here in Redacted. And it's harder for me to eat. But I am doing it. I'm doing it sort of, except I had really weird dreams last night. Oh yeah, I forgot. I gotta tell you guys about Tomodachi Life, because I did that. What we found? You don't have to be sad that I have yippee paws. I'm always yippee. That's my secret. We found I'm always yippee. It's not true. I'm not always yippee. I just look, I have in my possession a drink that theoretically contains 100 milligrams of caffeine. We will be okay. That was the sound of the 100 milligrams of caffeine hitting the desk. We'll be there. We'll be fine. We'll be awake and enjoy our time. It's just a bit cold. It's not cold. It's warm. There we go. Have you noticed? Okay, it gets really bad when it gets too warm. My word confusion just fucking swaps. It just fucking swaps what I mean. I'll be like, I'll be meaning to be like, it's really warm. I'm very overheated. And I'll be like, it's so cold. No, Ghostie, it's not cold. It's warm. The opposite of cold. It's the opposite of cold. And I cry a little bit. I sob into my lean. We have not had a lean cuisine. I don't eat lean cuisines. I don't think that it's over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's see. A live check my temperature here in Redacted. Redacted, Alberta. Weather. Let's see. Okay, so it's not super hot, but it is very humid. It is only 67 degrees Fahrenheit, 19 degrees Celsius, but with like 40% humidity. But the high is 79 degrees Celsius, which isn't like a ton, but it's not
Moser
great.
chose to be last.
What?
Now Moser is first.
Moser, thank you for being the alpha and the omega of the stream at this time. And then it's gonna get warmer, like tomorrow. Oh my lord, Friday's gonna be hot. But that is why Ghostie has a portable air conditioner. Don't be so warm. Ghostie's not gonna be happy. It's fine. Ghostie's gonna be fine because we have a portable AC. But yeah, it's not gonna get to 100 degrees here in Redacted. I think we're too far north still. I think the most it's gonna get is mid to high 80s. Fahrenheit, if we're talking Fahrenheit. I think... I'm not a meteorologist. I don't study the meteors. Yeah. But that's what I believe it's going to be. Excuse me. But yeah, so EP Possum happened. EP Possum is forever. And I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best, Chad. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my absolute best. I'm having the weirdest dreams at night because it gets warm and I curl up. I have a fan. We have a fan in our bedroom that I turn on at night. But then sometimes when the fan is on, I get too cold, so I turn off the fan, and then I'm too warm, so I turn on the fan, and then I'm too cold, so I turn off the fan. It's just a forever cycle of possums. Forever possum cycle. Oh right, Tomodachi Life. I was going to tell you about Tomodachi Life. We haven't played that in a while, and I don't think I'm going to continue that series here on stream, because I don't think that it was particularly something you guys enjoyed a lot. But I started my own off-stream Tomodachi Life. And in this off-stream Tomodachi Life, the only rule, there are 2 rules in Tomodachi Life for this off-stream playthrough. Rule number 1, if the characters are blood related, like in story or whatever, then we have to put them as blood related. They cannot achieve romantic connection, okay? That's just not cool. The other rule is that other than that, everything is yes and. Everything is yes and. So 2 of my characters got married and they had 2 kids, a boy and a girl, and then another 2 characters got married and they had a girl. And the girl from the first couple went to the girl of the second couple and was like, hey, do you like playing video games? I like playing video games. Let's be friends. So no, they're friends. And then the boy went to the girl from the other thing and was like, hey, do you want to talk about Unflesh? Mauser, thank you for being here for 15 streaks. Yes, and? Question mark. Exclamation point and interrobang. Man, I wish people use the interrobang a little bit more. But also, I wouldn't know how to put that. How do I even interrobang in a book? Interrobang. Interrobang. So interrobang, if you didn't know, is basically an exclamation point and a question mark in one go. Okay? So it is those 2. And it's been, oh my lord, is it a more... It was designed to replace the use of an exclamation point following a question mark in advertising copy. Interesting. I did not know that. Seems out of place on... So, okay. Interesting. So how do I do it? How do I use it? I'm curious. It's rarely used and difficult to find in print. I might start using it. I might start using it. Because it's kind of fun. And I mean, I am an author. I can just use it. I can just start using it in my own books. And then, if people are like, oh, that's a fun thing, and they read my stuff and they can use it too. I doubt anybody reads my stuff. I mean, other than the few people that I know read my stuff. Like, I know Bruce has, Noko Shusho, and I think the Pope, Raccoonus. I know Felicity has. I know Binka has. And my friend Becca. Like 2 hands. I think Haba has. And my friend Chris EC90, if you guys didn't know. He's really cool. I want to play more games with him, but I'm a weirdo and I get nervous. Okay, I need you to understand. No matter how many times Mauser or Altarian or somebody in even in chat is like, hey, Ghostie, let me know. Or in DMs, Ghostie, if you want to play this, let me know. We'll just play it. No matter. Unless you come to me and go, you buy and read my books. Well, thank you. I was saying that like nobody's gonna read my books, and I was like, actually, I have empirical evidence that people have. But unless my friends come to me and go, hey, Ghostie, would you like to play this game at this time? I am unlikely to go to that friend and be like, yes, exactly, Mauser, you understand. Because I'm nervous. Because it doesn't matter. And if I'm in a group, if I'm in like a collab server, I'm the worst about this. I'm in like a few collab servers, okay? And it'll be a situation where it's like, hey, everybody's invited to play this thing on this day. And I'll be like, I want to play that thing on that day. Wait a minute. They probably didn't mean me. They probably meant everyone else. I am awful for that. So like, I miss out on so much because I'm like, well, they didn't ask me directly. That means they don't want me there. I'm so bad about it. I get better. I promise. I'm working on it. I did it, I think, not last weekend, but the weekend before. Was it last weekend? I don't remember. Time is fake. One of these past weekends, I joined something on the collab server on one of the collab servers. I was like, yay, I did it! And then I didn't try anymore. No, it wasn't last weekend, because last weekend I didn't. It was the weekend before it. There we go. You can't see it, but I'm tapping my head like, ha, smart. I don't know. I'm very silly. Okay, I said we were gonna play No Man's Sky. We're gonna play No Man's Sky. We're gonna be continuing our, no ship run that we started. Did we start it last week or the week before? Like I said, time is fake. Oh yeah, I didn't tell you guys about the bird. Okay, so I was sitting in the living room yesterday because I'm just like trying to rest and stuff, right? And all of a sudden this impact comes like super loud against the window. It sounds like somebody lobbed a rock at the window. And I'm sitting there like, is somebody trying to break into my house? Is somebody mad at an opossum? Oh no! So I have to roll over I know I say roll over, but what I mean is like I'm in my wheelchair, so I have to roll. I have to roll over to where to the window and look up the blinds. And then I see this burb. This is absolute man. And he's just sitting on my back deck. And he was just staring at the window, and he blinks a couple times and he looks around. And I got a picture of him too. That fucking drunkard. Our windows aren't like super clean, and they're not open. He just ran into the window, which is insane to me. It's a very silly little bird. It's not even time for them to be drunk. Okay, because here's the thing, right? That this typically happens more in like fall and winter, because different fruits that will grow on trees and stuff, like berries on bushes and things like that, that don't get harvested will fall on the ground, and then they ferment, and then the birds eat them, and the birds get drunk, and then they fly into windows. We've had that happen a whole bunch, but it's so if it's like fall and winter, I expect it almost. Would not shock me. But in summer, in the middle of summer, bird, you're drunk in the middle of summer? What, did you leave your wife and kids to go get Sega milk? And now you're not going back because you got drunk instead? Yes, that's what happened to him. Okay, we are gonna be playing some more Nemansky. Okay, there we go. Now I can see everything. This is our thing. They're not fermented. None of them have even fall. It's not even time for them to fall yet. Not even time for them to fall yet, Mauser, so they can't be fermented. They're still on the branch or the vine or the whatever. For those of you who don't remember, we are doing a no ship run in an abandoned universe. What does that mean? That means that we are trying to find a ship on this planet. Matthew Diamond? I'm so confused now. My fault. I scanned. And you'll ignore that over there because that's our like starter ship that we can't turn off. I think we were just going in the direction of this minor settlement and hoping to find something on the way. I have never succeeded in one of these. You guys saw my first ever attempt with Goji the other day, like on Canada Day. And the main reason I'm trying it is because I like this game a lot. And I'd like to try and get better at it. And also, on top of wanting to get better at it, I just think it's neat. I just think it's neat. Ah, it's a hole! Yippee! Hey, Buried Cash, you got anything for me? There thermal protection module. That's not bad at all. Owls, yeah, okay. Brain help. Brain! Chat, my brain's not help. Oh, it's over there, isn't it? There we go. But yeah, it's also just a nice time for us to hang out and like chat as I go around and do stuff. And it's a way for me to like not be too worried about what I'm doing, because like I've talked about tiny people. I've talked about this before, but I get incredibly nervous if we're just sitting and chatting, which by the way is why I get scared which is why I get scared about things like doing the farm bred xenomorph. Even though it's not like you guys don't want that. It's not like you guys are like, ew. But I get nervous. Because I'm gonna have to do it while I'm not playing a video game, right? And I have to do it while I'm just sitting here and talking to you guys. And it concerns me because I'm like, what if I'm not enough? What if I'm not enough? I mean, even though we have a lot of fun, we play a lot of video games, and I enjoy hanging out with you guys, because honestly, if I didn't do that, I'd be pretty lonely. I don't see many people. I have one friend in town. Subway fuck no. Fuck no. Are you kidding me? I will never Subway Surfers. I have never. I have not even a single timed. In fact, it annoys me if I click on like a short. If I like click on a short. Oh, we don't have either. If I click on a short on YouTube and it has some bullshit Subway Surfers or Minecraft challenge thingamajigger on it, I click off immediately. I'm like, no, fuck you. Which is probably mean, you know? It's probably kind of mean for me to say fuck you about. Because they're just doing algorithmic things, which I'm failing at. I need to do more shorts. I need to make more shorts so you guys can enjoy them. I will work on that. The first thing I've been trying to pay attention to is fixing my my audio problems. Because I don't know if you guys noticed this. It really stuck out to me on Saturday when we did the Far Far West. I sounded like I was coming. Oh. I sounded like I was coming through muffled. And that's not really what we want here on the Ghost Entertainment Network. Man, imagine if I ran a network of entertainment. That would be awful. That would be awful. You sound like you're eating the mic. No, you don't. What are you talking about? You and Nelly and Binka all sound very good. And then I'm over here like sounding like there's something between me and the microphone. So I have been fucking around with it and changing settings, and hopefully it'll get better. I want it to be good. Cause I mean, I enjoy doing this. And so I want, if you guys are kind enough to watch me, I would like it not to be uncomfortable for you, you know? I prefer it to be good. Oh yeah. I also have been... Okay, so... What I used to do, by the way, for book writing, because I've been doing some more book writing, is I would finish an entire project before starting the next project. So for instance, with Erasing Emma, I finished Erasing Emma before I started on book 2. But I've started doing something different. I've started while I'm waiting for opinions from my beta readers. I started working on book 3. Cause what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I can't keep working on book 2 while book 2 is with other people. That's just asinine. Jettison pod. What is jettison pod? We've done these before. I feel like we've done a jettison pod before and I've been disappointed. Oh, that's not too disappointing actually. I think ultimately I would be really happy if I could like just be possum writing books and creating streams. I think that would make me happy. Which I'm doing, like I am doing. And we are doing okay. I need you guys to know that ultimately Goji and I are okay. Okay? We work very hard to make sure that we won't be a problem for other people. Why are you smoking? I thought you were one of those pods or something. Now you're just smoking. Don't you know smoking's bad for you? But we're fine. We're gonna be, and we are going to be fine. But I would like, hopefully, to make it so you guys, have some fun stuff to watch and read. I hope that I can make you smile a little bit every time I'm live. Even understanding that I'm just a tiny little possum. I'm just a tiny little possum. What is that? I've taken to sending... Oh. I've taken to sending, awesome pictures to a lot of my friends. Like if I don't know how to start a conversation, it's not applicable to when I start conversations with Mauser, because I feel like it's a lot easier for me to just be like, Mauser, thing, and he'll be like, oh, thing? I'll be like, yeah. But, but a lot of my friends, I get nervous to start conversation with. I don't know why. I think that's because I assume I'm inherently unlikable. And so what I've started doing is if I have a friend and I would like to talk to them, I'll just send them a picture of an opossum. Be like, hey. Because that's one of the easiest things, right? That's one of the easiest things. I can just be like, possum, and they're like, that is in fact an opossum. And then we can talk about the cute possum, which I can then lead into, I can then, create? No! 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 I bamboozled myself! Can't even use that. I can't even use that. Man. Man. Foil again. Yeah, it's always easier to start a conversation when I have something like, hey, look at this cute picture of an opossum I was looking at. And then they're like, oh, cute. And then I can be like, yeah, how are you? I don't know why I can't just start a conversation with how are you? Like, that's a perfectly valid and communist way of starting a conversation. I can just be like, hey buddy, how's it going? But no. But no! Instead I'm like, what about if we just... What is this, photon cannon? I don't have a photon cannon, I'm not a starship. If you learn anything from your possum, you should learn to be able to go up to your friends and be like, hey, friend, how are you? Be a better conversationalist than the possum, okay? I think the worst thing, at least for me, is that I oftentimes will tell my friends, I think I've talked about this before, but fuck it. Knife hands and your lemons make lemonade then. You can't batter the women, how the fuck are you supposed to bake them a cake then? Ooh, only 7 hours away, chat. Only 7 hours. Yippee. We're ambulatory. But yeah, I get nervous. I'll be like, hey friend, I want to tell you about things. And I tell them. And then they're like, hey, how's thing going? And I'm like, how do you know? Like it's some sort of big secret that I've told no one about. I tell people about all this shit. Abandoned Christ. Oh. I tell my friends about a lot of things. But I think it's just that it becomes a little bit scary for people to know you. And that's a concept we'll probably talk a little bit more about while we're playing Soma in a little bit. Because if you guys remember, we had some stuff that we reached for VTuber SummerSlam, so we will be doing those. We will be accomplishing the... What is that? Oh, it's just a rock formation. Yeah, that's disappointing. Oh, but if we get a dioxide deposit, we should be able to better fill our thing for protection from cold. That'll be pretty good. I'm terraforming, and by terraforming I mean mining with impunity. I think one of my favorite, what's it called? Blue Sky profiles that I've found recently is the guy RPing as a Shinra middle manager. I think it just makes me happy because I remember back when I was super into RPing and writing Final Fantasy VII, typically Turks fan fiction. And so I'm like, yeah, please. I understand you, middle manager, son. I don't say son. Ronnie, hi. Okay, have a good day. Thank you for stopping. But did I just delete that man? I just deleted that man. Oh my fucking god. I did not mean to delete that man. So anyway, we are just going along on our journey to find a new... Oh, you did not distract me, Ronnie. It's fine. Yeah, possum pack. They do use it mostly for finding food. They also use it to figure out whether you're a friend or not. If you're the kind of stem cube that they don't like, then you're not a friend. So I think the funniest thing about possums is that there's kind of like this thing with possums, raccoons, and skunk, where possums and raccoons will be friends with each other. And possums and raccoons will tolerate skunks, but they don't like skunks. you know? Which is kind of like an interesting hierarchy in the Appalachian starter pack Pokemon. That's what we are with the Appalachian starter pack Pokemon. Well, really anywhere in the southern United States. And many places in the middle and northern United States as well. Because we're all starter Pokemon. Yeah. Man, imagine we just never find a ship. Goji was explaining to me what I should be looking for, and I'm just not seeing it anywhere. It's also incredibly plausible that there's like a ship hidden over any of these ridges that we're just never gonna find. We're never gonna find. Because, I don't know. I actually don't know what determines what you can and can't see. Like whether it's elevation or what. But I don't think we should go backwards. I think we should be going forwards. Chicken, across the universe. On the Starship Enterprise under Captain Kirk. Star trekking across the universe. Always going forward because we can't find Rich first. I don't know all of the song, but I do remember that song. So, when I was little, when I was a young puss. And we were going to climb a mountain with the cult and stuff. We were in one of those big, if you know youth group vans, then you know youth group vans, right? But so huge van barreling down the highway. And the youth minister liked Dr. Demento. So he had us, like, he had a Dr. Demento, like, CD or something that he had on. And all I remember is that one, and also Dead Puppies Aren't Much Fun. That's what I remember of that, of that one. And he really loved Dead Puppies Aren't Much Fun. That was like one of his favorite songs. Which, I mean, fair. I would agree with the sentiment that it's not great to have a dead puppy. But also, like, fair. Also on that trip, at a different point, I was in one of the vans where the lawyer was driving it. Okay. What over that bridge? Abandoned wreckage. The lawyer was driving it, and he decided, because most of the teenagers were asleep, so he decided that they all needed to wake up. So he slammed on the brakes and started screaming at the top of his lungs. Is this just a rock? Just a rock. It's a rock lobster. So I remember that. He was like, yeah, we gotta break him up because we're gonna stop at Cracker Barrel. And I was like, is Cracker Barrel any good? And he was like, Ghostie, you have not lived until you've gone to Cracker Barrel. I need you to understand, Cracker Barrel was too expensive for my family at the time. So I had never been to a Cracker Barrel. And I didn't know what to do. Well, also, if it's too expensive, by the way, I wasn't gonna be able to afford to eat at the Cracker Barrel that they were taking us to. In fact, one of the adults paid for me, which I was very embarrassed by. Because it was like, I'm incredibly poor. I thought we were stopping at places like McDonald's, which also was too expensive for Ghostie. And a guy who I've since realized probably had a crush on me, bought me a McFlurry. And I'd never had a McFlurry before, and I was like, and he was like, yeah, you're gonna have to get used to boys buying things for you. Like, okay. There's just things you think about when you get older that you didn't realize at the time. And a lot of it for me is just not understanding what people meant to ask. Like, the amount of times that people would be like, that people would ask me something and I would take it quite literally, and they would be like kind of upset or sad afterwards, and I would be very confused as to why. So shout out to that one guy who tried to allow me to play Diablo at his house. I think we were in middle school, might have been high school, I don't remember. At the time is fake. But he lived in an apartment complex, and he was my age. We were the same age, and we were both children, you know. And he was like, hey Ghostie, I have this really cool game that you should play. I think you would really like it. It's called Diablo. And I was like, I don't know, doesn't Diablo mean devil? And he was like, well yeah, but you're fighting the devil. I was like, okay. And I was like, a guy asked, and here's the other part. I was, like I said, I was either middle or high school, and I still had to ask permission from my parents before I played the video game. And he was like, yeah, my parents are fine. If you want to come over to our house, we'll play Diablo on the family computer. No, my parents were like, Diablo means devil. You can't play that. It's gonna lead you to the devil. Wild. wild things that possum parents believed. I still haven't played a Diablo game. The closest I've played is a Path of Exile game. And I will tell you, I love being a necromancer. I love having my skeletons kill things and they turn into flaming skulls that then explode on other enemies that turn into wraiths. It makes me happy. And I don't see that as a bad thing. You know? I don't think it's bad to enjoy yeah, Path of Exile is pretty great. I don't think it's bad at all to want to play something that makes you happy. I think the thing that I am most embarrassed about as now as a human, since I grew up, I think the most embarrassing thing is remembering when I was much younger and I refused on moral principle to watch The Matrix because I had been taught that it was wrong to watch. I couldn't tell you why it was wrong to watch it, but I believed that it was. So I didn't do it. We're gonna go ahead and get rid of some of the stuff probably soon. Man, you know what sucks though? You see a little bit of what looks like smoke on the horizon. You crest the hill, and you see that actually it's just clouds. Like, no. What did I even get? Get anything? Neat. I was going. Oh, right. I was going for that abandoned crate. Oh, maybe the knowledge stone. I don't know why I'm going for the knowledge stone when it's an abandoned universe. We will meet nobody. Yeah, I was asking Goji about it. We could even go to the anomaly, the space station, the anomaly. And there would be nobody there. Like, there would be... The only person that would be there would be Nada, but he would be deactivated. So, it's not even worth... I don't know what I'm doing sometimes with this. And I'm like, I would like to find a ship. I mean, that's the whole goal of this challenge, right? Is to find a ship. Goji's told me there are some like signal towers and stuff I should watch out for, because those can lead me to one. And that's pretty nice. But also, I gotta say, I'm having learned how to play this game has been so rewarding. It's one of those things where I just always assumed that I wasn't able to do very well. What? Oh no! Ah! My legs! My legs! Guys, my legs are attacking as the ad is gonna start! As a reminder, if you are subscribed, if you have Twitch Turbo, a good ad blocker, or are over on YouTube, you will not see ads, but soon, you will have ads on it. We run them because we do not like pre-rolls. We won't. Shut up, Sentinel. I'm trying to bend my legs. The good news is you won't be missing out on any gameplay because I won't be doing anything other than like I think moving forward a little bit. We're gonna move forward to get this buried cache, but other than that, we're gonna dig a hole and we're gonna hide in the hole. And that will help us not need to be worried about weather. Theoretically. There we go. So we're gonna stay here while ads are going. This will start any second. Then after that, we will continue playing. We don't like B-rolls in this house. I don't like ads in general, let's be fair. You're not good. You're not even entertaining. I don't know the last time that I saw an entertaining ad. And I've never really watched ads. My parents were big football fans when I was a little possum. But, I have not been. So, we never even watched the Super Bowl. And back when I was tiny and we did watch football, ads didn't matter to me. We had like a set amount. I think that I was allowed like 30 minutes of TV time a day. I think that increased to like an hour on weekends. So, I don't see a lot of TV in general. Check on Twitch. Oh, your ad has already started. So we've already had our ad break, or we've already almost done with our ad break, but everything just broke and isn't telling me that. Motherfuckers. I get to say motherfuckers, okay? 10 seconds left. Okay. Yeah. Alright, welcome back from ads. Thank you guys so much for sitting through them. I really do appreciate it. Just real quick, we're gonna have the Ghostie chilling hour. And that means that I want to thank the people who support me on Patreon, but more importantly, thank you to the people who support me at the $5 tier or more who are currently via Zelle, Platform, Platypus, Go Shusho and Babinka Bear! Thank you guys so much. Over on Patreon, I don't make a lot of posts, but I will make posts occasionally. And if you support me at the $5 tier or more, you also get copies of my ebooks at no additional cost. You can just download them. But if you support me at the $15 tier or more, you also get your name on the back of the Luigi board, which I need to take a picture of and upload. And then, if you want to support me monetarily over on Twitch, you can subscribe, which makes a fun noise. Get your bits, which make fun noises. But if you want something physical in return for your support, I have 2 books out. !book over on Twitch if you want to see the Amazon links. They're not just available on Amazon though. They're available on like Barnes & Noble and Indigo and things like that. Basically any large book retailer, you can get physical copies of Ghostie's books. Yay! If you're like Ghostie, I don't have money. I can't support you financially. And I'm like, you know what? I get that because neither can I. But if you just want to hang out, then you are welcome to. Follow me on Twitch, subscribe over on YouTube, talk and chat, or don't. Both are fine. So yeah, we're gonna keep going. Man. There's the sky. There's the sky. Do I have anything around here that's like important that I really want to go to? I will head towards that damaged machinery over there. But yeah, super appreciated if you guys want to support me in any way. We do this month have the return of the monthly sub goal. That's mostly just because like that is something I feel like would be good if we could get. And as a reminder, we are trying to get to a whole 1,300 followers here on Twitch. And if you're like Ghostie, it already tells me that you have 1,300 followers on Twitch. Yeah, it's lying to you. I have 12,052. No, don't scan me. I'm too small. I have 1,252. But Twitch, being Twitch, it likes to be like, well, it's over 50, so we'll round up. Or it's over 49, so we'll round up. Well, if we get to 1,300, like, really truly, by the end of August, then I will do a special karaoke. Do a special karaoke. And, hopefully you guys will enjoy that. I really appreciate it myself. Thank you guys so much for your support. Yeah. Trying to think of other fun stuff that I've been doing. Well, because yesterday was not supposed to be my day off. Today was supposed to be my day off, and I will have to leave in about 2 hours, or possibly sooner, because I have my medicine delivery today. Why you want to fill my sandwich with greasy things? I have my med delivery today, so I have to be in a different part of the house so that I can be there when they ring the doorbell. So I can't do a super long stream today, unfortunately. But I am so glad that my stuff didn't just decide to say fuck you out of nowhere, because I would have been so sad. Ooh, that's brave. I would have been so sad if my system had been like, hey, goodbye. I would have been so sad. Can you imagine too? I'm like, hey guys, we're gonna have a makeup stream today because yesterday I was too in pain. And then like today comes and we're like, sorry, we can't do it. Everything's decided to say fuck you. I do think Tuesday is a better day for a stream than Wednesday, personally. But I think it just keeps happening that I have troubles. I think that just keeps happening, honestly. So I gotta yawn. EP Plus on main. I do kind of hate that, I'm not gonna lie. I hate how tired I get. But it's also part of the kit, you know. I got the annoying multiple sclerosis kit. And that means that I have a lot of annoying things that I have to deal with. I asked a question no one had asked. It was simple. The Sentinels, where do they come from? Made it my life's work to find. Left logs, records across worlds. Tracked glyph. Whee! Memory fragment. Consume. Wait, what was that? Optical drill unit. Yeah. What are you? A scanner upgrade. Chat. Can you believe this malarkey? I know, I use the hard M for malarkey. But it's fine. I mean, we might as well go get the knowledge stone. I know it doesn't really help us a ton, but I do like it. Alrighty. A lot of what I watch when I'm not trying to... when I'm trying to learn stuff, cause okay. Okay. Here is the world. No. When you are a tiny possum and you're trying to be an author and a VTuber and you're trying to understand things, there's a lot of self-educating that happens, right? You have to watch a whole bunch of stuff, you gotta consume a whole bunch of stuff. You have to understand what it is that you're trying to do. But I sometimes watch the incredibly wrong stuff. In that sometimes I just watch a whole bunch of reviews for books that I will never read. And then I get super self-conscious. Because I remember I was looking at one thing yesterday where the person who was doing the review was like, you never use adverbs. You're not supposed to use adverbs. Adverbs, for those of you who don't know, is anything ending with ly. No, I'm oversimplifying. I'm oversimplifying. But, you know, seriously, honestly, mostly, mainly, theoretically. But it's kind of like conventional, I was about to say conventional opossum wisdom. And I realized that maybe that's not even untrue. It could be conventional opossum wisdom, and none of us would know. But no, it's conventional writing wisdom currently that it's like, don't use adverbs. They just make your writing worse. But honestly, I think it's more that in writing, especially modern writing, we've gotten to this point where it's more about getting places quickly. Like, if you notice, if you ever read an older book, like if you read Lord of the Rings, for example, it doesn't start you in the action. It doesn't get to the action forever. It is slow. It gives you a whole bunch of information, and half of it you're not even gonna actually need to be able to know the story. But this hole was made for me. But it's interesting, and it's something that at least for me, when I was reading it, I felt happier for having read. There's you know, there's stuff there that you as a reader might enjoy, even if it's not particularly plot relevant in that moment. Unfortunately, because of how our society has gone, and I'm speaking mostly about North American society because I'm not part of societies that are not North American currently, which is a little sad in of itself because I would love to be part of other societies. I just don't live there. But our society is mostly about efficiency and about getting the whatever it is as quickly as possible, as opposed to being about enjoying the journey. Which, you know, I guess I understand. But that means that we're taught when we go to creative writing classes or when we read books about writing, because there are books on writing. I know it seems a little bit silly, but There are books on how to write. And a lot of these things that they encourage newer writers to focus solely on driving plot. And this almost, I would almost put it as like a TV or movie way of writing, where it's like there should never be a scene in your book that isn't about moving the plot forward, which I don't agree with, because something like the whole point of a book is to slow down and also immerse yourself in a world. So I feel like it's okay to start slower or to take time to pay attention to little details that you might not otherwise do. I mean, that's kind of like, I mean, again, this is my opinion. Okay, this is my opinion. And opinions are like assholes. Everyone has them, etc., etc. But, in my opinion, you kind of lose something if all you're doing is trying to get to the next plot point. Because that's not even how stories used to be told or how life goes, you know? And so I like that slower pace a little bit. Not all the time, obviously. I think it needs to be varied, and it depends on the story you're telling. But I believe that it does make a literary experience lesser to only care about plot. I don't think plot is a dirty word or a bad one, nor do I think you shouldn't care at all about plot. That's silly. It's more just that I think that if we don't stop to consider the less plot relevant details, we kind of lose something in the expression of characters and the expression of stories. I mean, even if we're taking TV, I think even TV has kind of lost something with the with a shorter time period for a season, because there's less time to explore daily character moments and little things that don't actually matter. Discarded dirt. What the fuck is discarded dirt? That I think we ooh. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Qu'est-ce que c'est? I don't know what I expected. Probably not dirt. That's more discarded dirt. What is this place? Well, it's just kind of like saying, I feel like I would have, this is the place where I would buy stuff if it wasn't an abandoned universe. I mean, I'll probably get rid of all of this. I mean, it's pretty cool though. It is pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. and I think people lose a little bit of their writing voices if they are focused solely on making the word count the best and all of that. That's another thing I've run into, and it's part of the reason why I kind of wasn't interested in sending Vede or Racing Emma to an agent or a publisher, because I've gone through that process before. I've gone through that whole thing where we are trying to please the marketing machine, even though I understand that I don't really do well with the marketing machine currently. Like it doesn't, the way I write, what I write about, etc., doesn't really suit the whole marketing machine. It doesn't. And that's not a flex, by the way. That's not a flex. That means that I'm gonna have a harder time. That I will have a harder time making any sort of progress as a paid author. If you want to make money as an author, what you do is you follow the trends. If you can see what the trends are going to be before they get there, then sure. Make the trends yourself. But most of the time you're probably going to be following the trends. But if, you know, and being an indie author does allow you kind of to work quickly and without as much oversight to put out things that are on trend faster. But I'm actually really shit at writing on trend. Like, actively, I'm bad at it. If I were writing on trend, I would be putting out a lot of different... Well, romance is kind of on the down... on the way out right now. What I would probably be wanting to do is put in something like dystopia, because that's going to be on the rise for a while. Or go kind of harder into epic fantasy. Because with dystopia, well, sorry, not dystopia. With brain stopped, help me. With romancy on the downswing. And by downswing I don't mean there's nothing that you're gonna get from romantasy anymore. That's not what I mean. What I mean is that there was a big pop, and because a lot of people who followed that pop did the exact same thing over and over again, now it's on a downward trend where people are less likely to want to pick it up. There is kind of a tiredness in a lot of readers of like, I don't want another something of something and something. I know that, by the way, I do know that a lot of you probably don't come here for the reader stuff, for the writing stuff, but it is something that incredibly interests me. So I feel like talking about it and giving my my 2 cents, as it were, even though we don't have a penny in Canada anymore, so it's not 2 cents. It's like giving a whole toonie. It's just $2. Why is it a toonie? Because it's 2 loonies. Why is it a loonie? Because there's a loon on it. And so a toonie has 2 loonies. I think a toonie actually has 2 loons on it. I could be wrong. I haven't, because I don't leave the house because I'm a bubble possum. Because I'm a bubble possum. I don't actually end up seeing a lot of physical monies. I haven't looked at it in a minute. It's been a minute since I've seen it. But I do enjoy talking about books. Which is kind of why I'm talking about books. But you'll notice a lot of people are a lot they're a lot more bored with romantasy. And if you don't know what romantasy is, it's basically it's fantasy but with a very heavy emphasis on romance. So usually you're gonna have a female main character, and she's gonna somehow be swept off her feet by some big man. Popular romances are things like A Court of Thorns and Roses, I think it's called. Or Fourth Wing. Things like that. I don't read romantasy. I barely read romance. Romance? It's not that it's a bad genre. I don't think it is. It's just, I think I'm less interested in it than I am in normal fantasy. And it makes me sad when I go to Indigo. Indigo used to be called Chapters. It is the main bookstore here in Canada. And whenever Goji and I go to the city, especially for my leggy inductions, well, I shouldn't say whenever, because that's not true. A lot of times, we'll end up going to the West Edmonton Mall. I normally detector, that could be good for us. We'll go to the West Edmonton Mall and go to Indigo. Oh, Getnip. You don't need weed. No, I forgot. This one's the spaceship one. Matthew Damon. But whenever we go to Chapters, Indigo, whatever you want to call it, and I go to the fantasy section. Right now it's just full of romantasy stuff. And it makes me sad because I'm trying to get back into reading. I am. I'm giving it a big try. Right? And I can't get into it with romantasy. It's just not my vibe. And I don't think it's bad if you are into it. I think that's fine. I don't care. I shouldn't say I don't care. I do care a little bit. I care that people enjoy the things that they're reading. That's what I care about. And I would prefer it if the things that they were reading made them happy and helped them improve their vocabularies. Or gave them something interesting to think about. You know, things like that. Do romantic give people interesting things to think about? I don't know. I think it depends on the person and the romanticy. But it's not my vibe. And it hasn't been since the beginning. But it does mean that because it has been trendy, because for a while, especially on TikTok, that was all that, like, so on TikTok there's a community called Book Talk. Book T-O-K. And for a while, especially all the women's on Book Talk, liked talking about romanticy. And I say this as if I'm part of it. I'm not. I'm not. If you guys paid attention to the whole saga I'm going through with trying to start things like a TikTok to post whatever I'm making for shorts over there too, I'm still blocked. I still can't follow anybody. My likes don't work. I can't comment on anything. And I don't know why. I'm like, hey TikTok, can you help me? And they're like, well yeah, if you could just stop being suspicious. I'm like, what am I being suspicious about? And they're like, I don't know. Possum paw prints are the new penny. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be cute. By the way, how are you, Shade? I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm sorry if that's late in talking to you. That message just came through to me. What are you? Ah, not what I want. But yeah, so it became the craze. It became what all the publishers were putting out for a while. And I think there are certain members of reader communities that feel a little bit forgotten because they don't like romantasy. They want normal fantasy, which I can understand. I'm kind of in that group. I'm glad to hear you're doing well, or okay at least. I shouldn't say well. You didn't say well. You said okay. But yeah, I'm in that group. Hi. I'm a tiny possum who doesn't really read romance. My preferences for romance are mostly the kind of romance I like is written by Jane Austen, which is old, or alternatively in anime. So I'm not. Another unknown building? Well, I will take that. So I'm not the intended audience for these, right? I am typically just your little possum that is incidentally in the area of reading. But I do think that they did try to do kind of like romantasy but with sci-fi, and that didn't work too well. Sci-fi is one of those genres that publishing is not entirely sure what to do with half the time, because it's hard to make a good template for it. Because you had a good template for fantasy with Lord of the Rings, and then you had a whole bunch of Lord of the Rings like come out like super fast, We're talking the Shannara books. We're talking a whole bunch of different books like that. I think Chronicles of Prydain was not super much like that, but it did. Publishers did kind of want it to be that. And it's why if you guys were fantasy readers a lot when you were kids, you might be like, well, all of them are basically the same story. Small, unuseful country construction. Jack Nanites. A lot of books that we had when we were younger are, things where it's like, yeah, small guy, sometimes farm boy. Usually farm boy or some person that is considered less, important or useful somehow. Becomes the person that is the chosen one. I'm not big into that because I like stories that are not just Lord of the Rings, but not as good. Suspicious packets! Oh no! What is suspicious packet? But yeah, the unfortunate thing with sci-fi and why, at least in the literary space, it isn't as considered is we don't have something like that. We don't have a Lord of the Rings but for sci-fi. You almost have that with Dune in a way, but Dune didn't have the cultural capital that that Lord of the Rings had. And I get that. I mean, it sort of did in some ways, like, especially if we're talking about currently with the movies and with, I think, what, Dune Awakening is the video game release? But I gotta say, as much as I hated when I was a small child and everybody had seen the Lord of the Rings movies and they were making all of these references that I was just disgusted that they were making because they were making it wrong. I absolutely hated. And I assume I will continue to hate when more episodes of the Dune. Are they done making Dune movies right now? I don't actually know. Because I was like, no, you're doing it wrong. Are they doing it wrong? I don't fucking know. But you know, there's a fascination with Dune. If the chosen wasn't a possum, that'd be pretty cool, but I probably still wouldn't. I'm still not really into that kind of a story. You know, unfortunately, as much as I might be an opossum on the internet, I'm not actually a furry. I'm not actually a furry. So, I didn't read the Brian Jacques books. I didn't. So Redwall was not a thing for me growing up. I played Star Fox. I enjoyed Star Fox, but it was not something that lived so large in my mind that I wanted to become one of them. But yeah, ultimately, if you guys want to know what's going on with trends in the literary cycle, there are probably a lot better people to do it than me, but I will say that, like, we are going towards probably dystopia again, and they're gonna try and do romancy, but in sci-fi, in my opinion. They're already trying to do dystopia, but romantasy. And that's not going super well for them. You've heard of Silver Elite. That's not going well. I don't do book reviews typically because, like, I'm not super interested in a lot of books currently, which is silly. I'm an author. I should be interested in books. It's just my attention, and I think it's because of my energy, honestly, with my multiple sclerosis, is so limited that it's like I only have attention for a few things, and most of the things that I'm actually interested in will be stuff that are video games. Because video games are a hobby, but also I really love them. It's a different kind of storytelling medium than books. And I really appreciate it. I don't think I would like for either of my books to be turned into video games in the future. I know that I have some people in my life who think that would be really cool, and I appreciate that they think it would be cool, but I don't think that they understand that the concept of a video game, the concept of even having the story as the video game is feels more constrained. If you're a gamer, right? Like us. Like most of us probably. In my opinion, it's less fun to play through a story that was not meant to be a video game than it is to play through a story that was built for it. I used to think it was that I didn't like playing stories that I already knew the end to, but we've played through Control a few times, and we will again as we get closer to Control Resonant. We will be playing through Control again, probably starting at the end of August, beginning of September. Because what I want to do is finish Control, have it fresh in my mind, and then when Control Resonant comes out, we're probably going to do like a full week of just that. Like everything else is on hold. But yeah, I don't know. I think video games are a fun way of exploring narratives that you can't really do in books. Look here. No. We will be ending here very shortly. Just because I'm starting to lose a bit of steam We've been going for, if we count the first bit before we had the colossal issue, then I think we count as going for 2 hours. But yeah, we haven't gotten, unfortunately, to find a ship yet. But we've made progress. We're 2 hours closer to the miner settlement, which is nice. Who knows what the I found a grave, but I don't know where a monolith could be. Sorry, Goji shouted at me from the back to find a monolith. But I don't know where it would be. So, I guess that is another thing we can look out for, though, a monolith. Well, yeah. I feel like we've made progress, and I'm happy that we did, cause I've enjoyed just chilling out today, just having a chill time. I don't know when the last time it saved was. Let's see if we can get something and prompt it to autosave. I don't think that prompted it. Get DS, whatever DS is. I wanted to save. Come on. Ah! There we go. No, it still doesn't want to save for us. Does not wish to save. What if we do one of those? It's probably on like a... It's probably on a timer of when it would save. Let's see. How if we go here and we're like... How long ago? 10 seconds ago. Sweet. Okay. We got it. We got it, child. We got it. Let's go back over here. Yeah. Stop raids for an hour. Yeah. Thank you guys for hanging out. I really appreciate it. I'm pretty tired. I don't know that I have the energy to do a wait out. But I do want to say thank you guys. We're gonna be back on Friday. We're gonna start off with our coffee talk, and then we're gonna play some more Minecraft. I'm gonna end out today. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Have a wonderful day. Eat something delicious or hug someone or something you love. And I will see you next time. But until then.